these women, they take your phones. You can't communicate. This is like the most retarded thing. And look, this is why I keep saying I keep telling everyone I'm not Kenyan. I don't believe in being part of any African country because it's a useless designation because
Yo,
it doesn't.
Yeah, totally agree. But like I'm saying, it's been known to happen all the time, and it's not only it happened to Africans, it happened to Indians, it happened to Filipinos, it happened to people from Indonesia, multiple different groups. And I'm surprised these African leaders didn't think it would happen to their own citizen. It didn't. It don't make sense.
enembera yagenda maaso ku deportation ya Riyadh omwana munauganda
See, all them people crying for Allah and all this other shit. And I hate it when people say that Islam ain't got nothing to do with fucking Arabs, is their fucking religion. Because Allah went to an Arab to tell his fucking story. He didn't go to a West African. He didn't go to no East African. This is the shit. The only reason they get away with this because the power of fucking Islam. You are being made to heel to a fucking Arab. That's the problem. That's why you can't. That's why you just gotta be away from these fucking religions. You gotta be away from all this shit. If you want to get away from fucking Arabs, get the fucking Arab religion out. That's the problem.
Let me
because they feel like they feel safe with some fucking trust.
Hold on, let my brother say
obviously Allah ain't there to help you. Allah is just like the fucking police. It's going to side with the police in Saudi Arabia. It's going to side with the Arabs. This is crazy.
Hey, can I speak to this point right quick? If I could just get 2 minutes to speak to this point right quick.
Bro. The vampire is not a vampire at all, man. You see that video sent on the back chat? She's in hell right now, man. We all know that.
I would like to speak to the very point.
Yeah,
Hello, can I speak to the point?
I thought this Abrahamic God didn't say like he burns murderers. I don't know why people wanna act like you somehow a past won't define or something. Like, you wanna be defined by what you not did do or did do. We don't know anything, but you did benefit a lot from the oppression around the world. So there's a God. Look, to be honest, I hope there's no God, bro. I hope so. I think that's what a lot of people are scared of. Man. I don't think they're just scared of death.
I mean, what I need to do. I'm sorry, brother man, for South Africa. I love you, brother. What they need to do, they need to do like the Filipino government did, and I think I'm not sure what India did in regards to their citizens. They just pretty much banned their citizens from going to those countries after it was multiple times. They women were being abused and raped and burned. And even one Indian woman was thrown off the. I think she was thrown from the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's when people were just like saying enough is enough. The citizens in India, Kenyan people need to fucking stand up and say this is enough of our citizens to go in there. And demand accountability. Just like the Filipino government, among others. It's not only Africans that are there. Tons of Filipino people out there.
There's a difference between Filipinos, Indians, and Africans. You see, the Africans, there's a lot of different issues of corruption in the Africans, and that's exactly why it still happens. The governor of that's in charge of these foreign trade of workers and workers union, he or she does a deal with the Kenyan version. So that deal again is millions or it's hundreds of thousands of dollars to
But what I'm
millions.
saying is this. What I'm saying is this case. So prior to that, the other governments in the world were pretty much silent until it started continuing in the news, and the local people started, seeing it more. That's when people started complaining, and it became a problem. It was the governments didn't make the difference. It was the people of those countries who made a difference because they got tired after 20-something years. Because mind you, I've been seeing those people in the military because I've been in the military for quite a little bit. Yeah. Going to those countries for many, 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 many years. And after all of many years, and it kept consistent news footage, that's when people, even outside, even among the media, that's when people started standing up about it.
Yeah, but the issue is that's happened in Kenya. Still no change. What happened? Because I've seen the interview with the guy who's in charge, the foreign minister or whatever, whichever minister it was, but the person in charge of this stuff. He kept just saying nonsense, right? First of all, they tell him, okay, look, you've seen the evidence. He's like, well, first you have to clarify what changes are you going to make? Oh, we're going to make them, and nothing's been done since about 8 months since that whole interview that they had. Issue is the people can complain all they want, but this is Africa. Africans are corrupt. As long as they get paid, they don't give a shit about their people, and that's the problem. And that's why I don't see it actually changing anytime soon. I think we're just gonna keep crying.
Don't say Africans, man. I'll be honest with you. We at SADC tend to care more. But I think this whole some African notion is I don't stand with it, man. I think it's mostly for you East and West Africans. I don't know what's happening there. I do think you should fight back. You do participate in the corruption. You just don't mention it. But at the end of the day, there is a reason why on this side they tend to do more for their people. As bad as quote unquote to talk about the corruption, the standard of living is a lot better in most of SADC. Tanzania, they do invest a lot. And let's even remove South Africa, Tanzania, Botswana, Namibia. A lot of their people are being invested in. They may not absorb, like remove total poverty, but they are reinvesting back into their population. So the question you should be maybe asking yourself is, what is wrong with us for us to put leaders like that? But that's not the truth. Honestly, you're gonna come and you're gonna say, "Oh, the African, the word." No, it's you guys. It's you, Kaizo. In a way, it's you, man. You do contribute to that.
No way. I don't vote for people, Misanda, and I never will vote.
Exactly. So you're contributing. You just answered that. You don't vote. You're contributing. Yeah, by doing nothing, you do something. That's just the reality, man. I don't know when a lot and let's stop. Look, sometimes, man, obviously we're all Africans, but we have to stop these talking points of seeing Africa as a country when we don't even trade with one another. Like, let's be honest, Zimbabwe has got shit sanctions, yet all your countries are still functional. The idea that if an African country fails, other countries are gonna fail is BS. Because a lot of African countries are fucked up, but other countries are still thriving.
Okay, look, maybe you talk about South Africa and Botswana, right? But no, this happens all across Africa.
No, South Africa, Botswana, Tanzania, Mozambique. Okay, yeah, Mozambique, they do tend to invest back. I'm not saying they're not, but they do tend to invest back.
This is not about investing back. It's about
Mozambique.
Forget the investment back. This is just about women who think they can make more money and they have the ability to go there, right? The issue is the governments in Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, even Nigeria and Ghana. It's not just East Africa. It's also Nigeria, Ghana are also having the same problems. The issue with these countries is they've done a deal with these Middle Eastern countries. I don't know if South Africa has done that deal to use their their unskilled women as domestic workers. So the problem here is this is specific countries doing that deal. Now South Africa might be different, right? But maybe they'll care more about their people. Fair enough. But in general, African leaders are all the same. In general, they don't give a shit about their people. They're going to allow their people to be mistreated. It's only recently that the Ethiopian government decided to bring back 100,000 Ethiopian non-documented workers in the Middle East, and I think they've brought back like 50,000 of them, which is incredible. But the issue here is these are documented workers from Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia who are being mistreated. Forget the undocumented ones. That's clear. And I've seen the conditions that they put these people in. It's worse than prison. And when I say prison, I mean worse than an African prison. Literally, people are dying of unsanitary conditions. But the problem here is, look, let me be specific then. I'm specifically talking about the governments that I'm mentioning here, these countries that send women to the Gulf. I don't know if South Africa has that deal, so I'm not going to include countries which don't have that, agreement. Issue is these people don't give a shit about these people. The governors are corrupt, and that's why this keeps happening. And this is why we keep looking bad.
Yeah, man, it happens because black men, African men are in your countries are cowards. That's why. Hell, even South Africans are cowards
Man,
somewhat.
come on,
You
listen.
are cowards, and then you don't want to admit it. You are cowards.
Let's
You
use
are cowards. You don't want to unite and take down a corrupt government that you complain about. But think about this, man. You know what, James? I was listening to your Black American.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how an African government will get so triggered over gay topics? Like you'll really make it a news panel and get a bunch of people together to talk about how much he hates gays. But he doesn't hate white people owning his economy. He doesn't hate white people owning all his land. Like you'll never make a public statement about that, but he'll make big public statement about gayness. Have you ever wondered why?
Because they're not obsessed with the right shit.
Not only that, they're cowards. The reality is that they are cowards. Because they no. What that proves to me, for most part, is that African leaders can speak on something that does affect them, or at least they feel like affects them, right? Because a lot of quote unquote Africans, I guess, are quote unquote homophobic, so they will speak out on that, but not on the, like you said, more serious stuff. Like they don't have them. Like I'm just saying, my thing is why have the energy for that versus I think it's my philosophy is that is because that's more controllable, right? But then that does not flow inside the African mind. They're cowards, is what I'm saying. A lot of these Africans are cowards, bruh, and they just don't want to admit it for some reason.
It's
They're
like
a bunch of cowards that let Europeans come into their nations, they destroyed it, and do whatever. They won't make any public statement, but will let people all focus on the fact that some guy is gay, and now you have to lose sleep. Not because I took your land, but because of guy you never see is gay.
You know why? Because like I feel that
Yeah.
culturally they don't believe in their own people. So when Singapore was kind of like in the same position, like in the 1950s, it was like a poor nation, but they invested in their people. What African leaders tend to do is that they want their people subjective. So what ends up happening is that they don't do the education. They don't do this and that because they don't want an educated class taking over their position. Because a lot of them kind of get their position through like their chieftaincy or like this other stuff, like some traditional mode, and it just kind of transfer into more like I guess, mainstream political power. But like a lot of it is based off of like, tribal identity, social norms, whoever's in power, who's ever the majority. They seem to be playing like tribal games for themselves. And whoever's in power is in power, and then whoever gets out of power, then the next person, and then he bigs up his tribe or whatever. And it's like nobody is connected. And to be real, like the only reason why some of these countries exist is because of these colonizers. These people naturally didn't unify themselves. So like when you look at like I don't know the United Kingdom, Britain had to unite everybody underneath them. They had to unite the Scottish and the Welsh and the Cornish
Yeah,
and the Irish.
yeah. But basically, you're trying to say an inner superpower. He has to unite everybody into one thing.
But
Liz
see,
was talking about that. They have at least one big tribe that has a purpose that everybody else follows under that tribe.
you know what's crazy?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So why is that tribe? Like it is possible. African governments have shown to have
Because
that. Like have an inner tribe that
right.
at least is like a common will be the focus to at least drive our the country forward. But I have a bigger tribe that has more speak. Like the most popular tribe in wherever Kenya, whatever. I think should rule as a dictatorship until the other tribe grows or something. I genuinely think so. I think that would help. If they were
Yeah, but
serious,
no, Musanda.
you think they have a
No,
political
Musanda.
No.
Musanda, but that has to happen naturally.
But
Like no one's gonna give up power and be ruled. So, wait, no. Wait, let me just finish. In the case of England,
it's gonna get you
the
buried,
British
bro,
just
but go on.
what is England? Nah, screw her, bro. She's dead, man. She's burning in hell. Fuck that bitch. You know what's the most annoying part is, bro, Africans, I swear, like sometimes I regret the fact that I was born an African. Not because I hate it, but because I have to live along these idiots. These people are coming out with all these, oh, God bless the Queen. Bitch, she literally colonized you. Why the fuck do you care
Bro,
whether she lives or dies? These people are so buck-broken, and it kind
you
of
say it
ties
on
up to the
LinkedIn.
whole Saudi situation.
I'm gonna
Bro,
tell you,
Africans are idiots, man.
the people who are crying the
Fuck
loudest
these people.
are the people who
Fuck
are
these
kind of
Africans,
not.
bro.
Bro, go on ENCA, check out I just saw the comments. That shit was, you see my comment on what I said, but like, bro, I was shocked seeing black people on that black South African song, but oh, rest in peace. I can't believe. I'm like, hey, yeah, what
Wait,
is
I
this?
just changed now.
Like,
The Aryan.
I think it's
Wait.
black.
Am I saying this? Yo, wait, Musanda. I'm gonna just show these people the camera of what they're saying on thing. Can you guys see the TV? What it says? The Queen died peacefully at thing. And bro, this is a South African news channel right now, bro.
ENCA. Is it ENCA or SABC?
Yeah, 403. No, 403 ENCA.
Oh, ENCA. Oh yeah, exactly, bro.
You have,
Exactly.
bro,
No, I don't know. Yeah,
Musanda,
bro. I checked the
for the last few hours, Musanda, for the last few hours, it's been white people on ENCA and some black coons coming here and eulogizing this whole. For what?
shit is embarrassing, dog. Like, what is wrong with you niggas, bro? Bro, I'm losing my money.
Africans, bro, I swear.
Losing my money. I'm expecting.
Kaizo,
What's this guy?
the only way out,
I'm
for Africans is to be colonized by a greater power, man.
Mm-hmm.
Musanda, the only way out for Africans is to be colonized by another African who has a backbone. And just to whip these people in shape, bro. These guys are so backbroken. They're so embarrassing, bro. It's so embarrassing to be African in these. Fuck these people.
You're right. Somebody needs to colonize us, bro. Some African needs to colonize us. Even if it's Zulu, but I'm more
Kaizo, by the way,